Did you know that bananas emit 2 different types of radiation and antimatter? Here are 7 facts about bananas that I bet you didn't know. Bananas were first domesticated around 10,000 to 7,000 BC with the species Musa bansky in New Guinea. From that moment, they spread all around the globe and have been a part of our history since then. They're used mostly for food, but also in other traditions and even in the textile and paper industry. There are many different species of bananas, but all of them belong to the genus Musa. There are yellow bananas, red bananas, flowering bananas, big bananas, small bananas, and even wild bananas packed full of big hard seeds, and we'll get to the quirks of those later. So, introduction's over. Let's start with the first fun fact. Number 1. Banana flavor doesn't taste like bananas. Have you ever tried those candies shaped like a banana that are supposed to taste like banana, or anything with an artificial banana flavor? You expect them to actually taste like bananas, but if you think about it, they taste quite differently. The reason behind this is the Panama disease. The thing is, all bananas are genetically identical, and we'll see why later. And this means that if a disease is able to infect one plant, it can devastate all of them. And that's exactly what happened. Before the 1960s, the dominant variety of banana cultivated was Musa acuminata, commonly called Gros Michel or Big Mike. Then, the Panama disease began to infect all of the bananas, and business went kaput. This forced companies to substitute the bananas with the Cavendish species, which had a higher resistance, though questionable quality, and they're the ones we currently eat. However, artificial banana flavoring had been made according to the taste of Big Mike bananas, which is quite different, and it's basically remained the same to this day. Number 2. Bananas are berries. That's right, berries. You might or might not be familiar with the fact that people are not too educated in botanical concepts and often assume that berries are those small fruits that grow in bushes. But actually, berries are botanically fleshy fruits without a stone or pit, produced from a single flower containing one ovary. And now, hold on to your seatbelts, because this means that grapes, tomatoes, cucumbers, eggplants, kakis, melons, and, as mentioned, bananas are berries, while things like strawberries and raspberries are not. But you didn't know that, huh? Number 3. Bananas and humans share more than 50% of DNA. Believe it or not, this is actually true. However, before you go wondering if your dad was actually a banana, let me clarify something. Some parts of DNA are essential to all living things, and you also need to keep in mind that there are 4 bases, A, C, G, and T, with relatively limited possible combinations. Keeping this in mind, it's only natural that all living things share some DNA to some extent. For example, we share 60% of DNA with strawberries, around 70% with fish, 97.5% with mice, and 98.6% with chimpanzees. Number 4. Their seeds don't grow. Yep, so first of all, bananas don't grow in trees. They actually grow in a plant called, the banana plant. Apart from looking like a tree, these plants have the weird property that they are in charge of reproduction themselves, rather than the fruits. Like, normally, fruits have seeds in them, so that when birds or other animals eat them, move somewhere else, and then excrete them, the seed can now grow in fertilized new ground, and the population can spread. For bananas, however, the seeds are actually sterile, and it's the plant that reproduces asexually through vegetative propagation, which means that it forms structures called rhizomes underground, which then go on to grow into new banana plants. As you might have guessed, this is why all banana plants are genetically identical and so vulnerable to disease. Number 5. Bananas glow under UV light. So here's something you can try at home, right now. Preferably in a dark room, get an ultraviolet light and point it at a banana. As you might be able to see, around the brown spots, which are dead cells, there's a glowing ring. The reason for this is that when cells are about to die, their chlorophyll, the substance that allows for photosynthesis, starts to break down into a group of molecules called FCCs, or fluorescent chlorophyll catabolites. As their name suggests, these are fluorescent and glow under ultraviolet light. Number 6. Bananas make you happy. Now, I'm not talking about the taste or the biological effects of eating anything here, but about the fact that bananas directly give you serotonin, the hormone released by the brain when you feel happy. You see, bananas contain tryptophan, an amino acid which, when metabolized or broken down, is converted into serotonin, along with melatonin, a hormone that contributes to your sleep. Basically, bananas have psychological effects beyond those of other foods and can make you happy and sleepy. Great. Number 7. They emit 2 types of radiation and antimatter. Now, before you throw those bananas out the window to avoid mutating into a mouse, let me tell you that you need about 100 bananas to match the dose of radiation you get passively in a normal day. You might know bananas for containing a lot of potassium, although now you know they're much more unique than that. Well, actually, the potassium content is not that high, but anyway, we're here for potassium 40. This is a naturally occurring isotope of potassium which undergoes nuclear decay in one of 3 ways. It either emits an electron and an antineutrino to beta decay into calcium 40, captures an electron and emits a gamma ray to turn into argon 40, or emits a positron and a neutrino to also decay into argon 40. Because of this, a positron, the antimatter counterpart of the electron, is emitted by a banana every about 75 minutes, and that's antimatter, apart from the aforementioned beta and gamma radiation. Well, who would have said that you could make an entire video going a bit into both biology and physics just by talking about bananas? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, because it took extremely long to make. And well, I'll see you next time. Bye!